Hello everyone, I'm delighted to share that Solar MD is expanding into the MENA region with Mohamed Abdelrahim as the CEO. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what inspired your journey into the renewable energy market?
An engineer by education. I guess many years I've been in the field. I worked in control systems, evolved more into the T&D side of the world, working with ABB. And my last 10 years, I've actually spent them in the Middle East, where I've come in different roles, such as service or retrofits, and doing these type of provider-type solutions into the T&D world. My last 6 years, I've made a big change where I've gone into the basically home-type generation side of the business, where I started dealing with diesel generators and kind of tailoring to a lot of the customers within the Middle East and Africa, which was really unique. It was something new, completely different from what I have done before, pretty challenging. And I've learned a lot from it. And that's honestly what introduced me more into renewables. As I was managing this business and looking at how to scale, where to expand. I mean, there are ways to go around by just expanding your market or taking on some more new customers, but that plateaus at some point in time, and the natural evolution going from that business would be more into something that complements it, which was really the birth of renewables. So working in that field is actually what introduced me into renewables, and since it's something new, and I always like to embark on something new that's going to challenge me, I found it very exciting and learned a lot about it within the last few years. And that's why we are here today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Mohamed. And then what excites you about leading Solar MD's expansion into the MENA region, and what unique opportunities do you foresee in this market?
From a personal standpoint, MENA region was important for me because I was born in the MENA region.
Okay.
And I've done my education and started my career in the US, where things are pretty much standard. I mean, everything in that country is just set in a certain way, and it doesn't evolve, and there's not a lot of diversity in it. So coming back into the region was great for the family, kids to be exposed to my roots and heritage and everything. But I also learned something very interesting, is the customer segments are also very diversified. The needs are completely different from just one country to the other, or one region in that country to the other. So the demand for energy stems from many needs that come up, whether it's load shedding, or people trying to save energy, or having just backup, or even some of these very expensive villas, or some people who need energy because they want to camp in the desert. I mean, there's just so much need out there, where if you have the right solution and the right flexibility, it will allow you to really tailor to a lot of these different segments. So the Middle East can never be, or MENA region cannot never be classified as one need. It's so exciting that each pocket of it will give you a completely different challenge that will allow you, if you're willing and able, to penetrate it, and definitely have some significant growth there.
And then with regards to Solar MD, what attracted you to our products?
So Solar MD has a couple of things where it resonates personal with me, and in general, how they do business. So the inception of this business, from my opinion, was based on creating a solution, not a product. So the vision of Kalyan, and when he tells his story, why he's doing this, it reminds me a lot of what I was doing when I was a project engineer in the field, where I've gone out there, and we used to always make a comment, whoever designed this obviously never had to use it because it was not user-friendly. And I think that's what drove him to start thinking about, how can I roll out a solution that it's easy to install, trouble-free, and just kind of has long life. And that's where he started things. And then, as you can see, I spent a lot of time dealing with Solar MD, and every time I came out to the Cape, I definitely visited here. The amount of flexibility and innovation. I don't think Kalyan knows to say no to any challenge. You tell him what it is. I mean, I was having lunch with him one day, and we were brainstorming something, and he actually priced it. He said, just go do it. We will make it happen. So if it makes sense, so the flexibility, the culture resonates a lot with how I like to do business and my leadership style. So I see this family environment with a great product that's very innovative, that's very customer friendly, and the ability to scale up and honestly do a lot more. as you've seen. So that's what really attracted me to this place, which makes it more or less the last thing I ever want to do and continue to take it forward.
So what role do you believe energy storage plays in advancing the renewable energy market in the Middle East and surrounding areas?
Very good question. And I will honestly steal from Bill Gates and use him as an example, where he had this crazy vision many years ago, and he said every home is going to have a PC, right? He was wrong. Every home now has many PCs. And I really believe that every home is going to have a battery at some point in time for some reason, okay? And that's going to be general for everybody else. I mean, we need a way to harness this free energy coming from the sun or from any other renewable source and deploy it as needed, or even use the abundance of cheaper tariffs of electricity during certain times if we're looking at arbitrage and basically releasing it at a time where we'd be paying a lot more. There's a lot of applications that, if we can understand them, first of all, and easily explain them to the customers, you will find the need in every home. I mean, in my home in North Carolina, I'll be putting a battery in. I don't lose power besides 2 hours a year, and my mom always complains about it whenever there's a hurricane coming through, but I mean, just residual. But just the need to have it there, having this backup power, deploying it at the right time, throwing just a few panels on the roof, pulling some power into a 14.3, let's say, battery, that's going to save me about 20-30% on my electricity bill, and every penny counts.
Do you think that the market, especially in that region, would be value-driven, cost savings? Is that the approach that you will be taking?
Absolutely. All of them have a value message, and that is the biggest challenge that we've seen, even in any type of energy provider type solution that you're putting out there. We need to identify what that is, and we need to simplify the message to the consumer. I can frankly just go out on a limb and say everybody needs it.
Yes.
But everybody's going to come to me and say, explain to me how to do it. And electricity is not fun. A lot of people don't even want to talk about what's kilowatt versus kilowatt hour. And for those even who are educated, trained in that, we tend to just blurb the stuff out, and the other person says, what are you talking about? So if we can simplify the message, identify the need, I guarantee you everybody needs it. And having a reliable solution that's going to give them the payback in some cases, or give them the reliability and guarantee that whenever they lose power, we're here for you, that's going to be key. So once we get over that hump, I think the winners are going to be the ones that have a proper solution with the highest quality. And that's something that, for me, I put it behind working with Solar MD, because I know we've mastered that. And now, so the next step is, how do we get our foot in the door with all the clients and create this lifetime partnership through connectivity, through everything that we are doing, to really live the journey for 12 years. And then we can upgrade to our next, I guess, version of it that comes up.